When it comes to ARK, underwater and rat holes may seem like they do not mix well. However, we proudly present top 3 underwater rat holes with full base designs on ARK. Coming at number 3, this location can be found at 82.1 latitude and 87.9 longitude. And then here it is on the map, and this is located on the center. Now, the best reason why we're doing this video is mainly because we have missed a big area of rat holes, which is underwater rat holes, of course. You know, there's a lot of people who love to build underwater and love to stay hidden away from a lot of toxic players. So we're like, hey, why don't we go ahead and do one but for underwater? So we found 3 of the most popular rat holes that are out there, and actually some of these rat holes a lot of people do not know about, but are still pretty popular for people who know underwater or know places like the center. This one's pretty well known, so if you know how to defend this one, I highly recommend it. This one's going to be really meant for smallerish tribes. Like, I'd honestly say even a solo or a duo on a more boosted server, so it'd work great, especially in this back area. Now, it looks a lot smaller on screen, but let me tell you, there's actually a lot more room in here than it looks like, and you'll see what I mean whenever we get to the build. And then over here in this area, it's a little tricky on what we're going to do here, but we're going to do some kind of death wall in the front. Now, it's not going to be a big death wall because, you know, the angles and all that of how this whole area is. So I don't fully know, but let's get right on to the build. Now, coming in for the build, as you can see, we wanted to keep everything pushed farther back to keep this rat hole as hidden as possible. We're going to go ahead and do that for the next 2 rat holes as well, but I decided to put up our little wall that we like to use just to basically stop dinos from getting through there. And then we have a nice little death wall that a solo or duo player could pretty much easily do on any server. Now on official, no, I'm not going to say I'm sure with that. Now this is built using the S+ vacuum compartments, because let's be real, the official ones suck. And S+ really helped out, so if you guys are on official, sorry about that. If you guys are on a server where they have S+ vacuum compartments, highly recommend building like this. If not, you can do it your own way, but it's not a huge difference, so I'll say that they're just a little bit smaller. But overall, here's our little base that we built. So getting this open and closed is a little tricky and all that, but coming through here we have some fabricators, 2 indie forges, smithy, some refrigerators, 2 chem benches, 3 vaults, and a cryo fridge. Now, you could possibly fit more, especially if you go up. That's really up to you. And then back over here, we have a tech jenny behind the wall. Just trying to get back there, and then I realized, oh, I can just do this. So, back behind the wall, there's a tech jenny. And overall, I love this as it's pretty hidden. Not a lot of players know about this location. And if you know how to defend it, especially underwater, this base will last you a very long time. But anyways, let's move on to the next one. Coming in at number 2, this can be found at 86.8 latitude and 09 longitude. And then here it is on the map, but this one can be located on the island. And this rat hole is actually not known by too many people, but still, you know, there is a good amount of people who know this, so there's going to be somebody on your server who's going to know that there's a rat hole here like this, so I'd be careful. But a lot of people have issues trying to find this one, as you can see. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to find. So coming through here, it opens up into this very awkward area. Now, it's a little awkward, but building underwater is a whole different story, meaning you can literally build in anything and get away with it as long as you know what you're doing. So there are pearls in here, which I like, because I mean, you can just grab some pearls, start building your base. Then try to go up here and you cannot get out of there. I already tried it, but it doesn't work. Anyways, but it goes up a little more, and then it's very awkward, but there's a lot of room. So we're going to figure out some kind of design to do. I'd say maybe for a 3-man tribe if we possibly can, maybe a little bit bigger. But let's get right into the design. So coming onto the build, I decided to leave everything on the internal side of this, and as you can see, you can fit a lot of stuff in here. Now, it looked very awkward from the outside, but this is what it looks like with the base built on it. So yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger than it looked for sure. Now I decided to go ahead and build them all the way up to the ceiling just to make sure nobody could get any kind of like tames over and get behind the wall. So just having this wall up, people hate trying to get rid of these. They take forever to like really like destroy with anything. So I decided to just spam them like crazy. And anyways, you come through here and I actually was able to put double doors on that, which was nice. So we have a turret, a vault for, you know, like a quick, easy access to get out and like defend your base if you have to. Coming through here, you got your chem benches, your fabricators. Put a replicator in the wall. Don't ask, I kind of ran out of room to put a replicator. And then we have some indie forges, some smithies built on the indie forges, a transmitter, a cooker, another vault. Then we have an upstairs area. Now this is the hatchery kind of area for like some, like just a few tames, not too many. We have another big vault area up here, some refrigerators, some cryo refrigerators, of course, and a nice little area to store some babies if you need to raise them. And then back here, this is where you can store some water tames if you're raising them. And then you also have your tech Jenny in the back. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Let's move on to number 1. Coming at number 1, this can be found at 16.1 and 73.6 latitude. This can be found on Crystal Isles, and here it is on the map. Over by Eldritch Isles, where you can mine the elements. Coming over here off to the side of the island, if you come all the way down here, there's actually a very nice rat hole. And in my opinion, this is the best underwater rat hole on ARK. Now, you'll see what I mean by that here in a minute. But as we come down here, follow these 3 steps. So look for the seaweed and follow the seaweed down. And look for an arch, and then of course look for the cliff that we just passed by. So here's the seaweed right here. Follow this exact seaweed down. There's a few more. There's the arch. Be at this exact location or else it's going to be a little tricky to find. And then make sure that you fall off the side of the little cliff. Now coming all the way down, you're greeted with this nice rat hole. Now, if you miss it, you're really not going to find it because it's not the easiest thing to find. But this is why I think it is my favorite one by far. Just look at the amount of room that you have in here. I mean, it's perfect. It's a nice big open area. You can easily build in here. And overall, this is my favorite rat hole. Now, building in here is going to be a little tricky as we're going to have too much room. So we're going to have to figure out what to do with all that. See how we can fit some water tames and really whatever else we need to do with it. But let's get straight onto the build. Now coming onto the build, I've decided to leave everything inside as we've done for the last 2. Now coming into here, you're greeted with a lot of heavy turrets. Now there's a reason for these heavy turrets, and that's to make sure nobody even gets to throw anything out in here. Now again, that's another nice part, is people cannot throw stuff out in here because it's too small of an area. Now I made a little hole over here so I can swim through, and then come back behind the turrets. But having the turrets here actually makes as a second little wall so people can't run up on your, well, I should say swim up on it. But anyways, after you come back behind this wall, you're greeted with this nice little base. Now it has some clipping errors, so of course if you're on an official server, this is not going to work. Now we have heavies, and then we have this nice, well, not nice, but it's an odd area down there where we can't build anything, and it's very strange. But anyways, you're greeted with some heavies, then more heavies, and then a few techs that are on top of the base. So I've decided to use double layers for this, so it's actually a 2-story like interior, which is kind of cool with personal rooms. And for the entrance, instead of using some doors, I just decided to just keep it as the chambers. So as you can see, we close the pothole, and then close this one too. And then coming through here, we have our refrigerators, a grill, a cooker, heavy turret in the little like middle corner area right there, your grinder, some chem benches, some vaults, another vault, some more fabricators. And then coming through here, we have another vault back there, 4 indie forges, 4 smithies, and then a nice little vault wall. Now it's time to go upstairs. So coming upstairs, you're greeted with one heavy down there, another heavy up top, some more vaults, because why not? You always need more vaults for storage. And then coming through here, here's how the personal rooms work. So instead of doors, I just left it like this. So you can just open it for your room, and you can shut it and then log off. Now, of course, people can see you from the outside, so I recommend using some kind of mod if you can to really cover that up, or put something on the outside to cover up the areas people cannot see inside. Then coming over here, I decided to give the Tech Jenny its own little vacuum compartment. Then through here, I left these as doors, so then you can get tames in and out pretty easy. But this is a nice, good size hatchery. Then you can have dinos outside and hatch them there. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. We hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new. Hit that subscribe button and go comment OCYT for a heart.